Lorenzo Clark, and this is Vegas Nonstop with Jonathan Scott. Yay! Jonathan Scott, there he is!
I love the way he does it.
Jonathan Scott, when the crowd goes crazy tonight.
I am Jonathan Scott, and this
Jonathan
is
Scott.
Vegas Nonstop.
Vegas Nonstop with Jonathan Scott, sponsored by Alien Tequila.
An abduction in every bottle. And
Yeah, it's out of this world. You got to try some Alien Tequila. Tonight I'm drinking the fantastic Ahern water, which is always good.
You're in a program, aren't you?
Well,
You got a meeting?
I'm on my 19th step. Cheers, everybody. Okay.
I'm not a quitter.
Splendid.
And we've got our guests. We've got Larry Wilmore and Jerry Ross joining us here.
Exactly. Our guests here tonight are the great Larry Wilmore.
Hey.
And of course, the amazing and hysterical Terry Ross, everybody.
We'll
We'll talk a little more about both of them are performing tonight and tomorrow night here in the Ahern Live Showroom as part of our A-Stars comedy show. Larry Wilmore is headlining the 9 p.m. show. Terry Ross featured on the 7 p.m. show. So come at 7 o'clock for Terry, 9 o'clock for Larry, or come for both. Yeah, it's a double-header, double feature of comedy tonight and tomorrow night. Yes.
I hope
Check
you're
out
taking
AhernHotel.com.
copious notes on all that. I like to start the show with a toast, so I have to ask our guests, do you have a favorite toast?
Melba.
Melba's a good toast.
That's good.
It's nice.
No, do you have a toast? Do you have a
Do you have a
toast?
toast?
Let's go over.
Nostrovius.
For those Russians?
Gradzki.
Larry, do you have a toast?
May you live 100 and may I live 100 minus a day. So I wanted to see good people like you. Thanks.
Oh, beautiful. Cheers. Oh, very nice.
I like my girlfriend's toast, which is, may the only pain you feel in life be champagne.
Oh, look at that one.
That's the one I like.
Toast, kid.
Yeah, you got a new toast. There you go.
Get the engine
Sweetback.
going.
Yeah. Melba and Sweetback, the toast of the town.
I saw them work once, Melba and Sweet.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
I used to know a singer out of San Francisco. Her name was Melba Rollins.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a good stripper name.
It was a great name.
Old school name.
Did you work in the flats?
So you guys are performing here, but there's also I have to, my friend Pete Housley also has shows here. He's got a
Yes.
Sunday brunch with Motown Sunday brunch.
That's an amazing brunch right here in the hotel, right here in the Ahern Live showroom. Starts at 11 a.m. We do the big brunch spread, cruise ship style, right out into the Vita Bella wine bar. So it's an amazing spread of food, everything you can imagine for breakfast and lunch. It's brunch. And then, of course, in the showroom at 11:45 starts the Motown show. And it's a little review, 3 ladies, 1 guy. They're all fabulous singers and dancers and performers, and boy, it's just an amazing.
Again, if you're
show.
taking notes at home,
Yeah.
3 ladies, 1 guy, singing Motown. And you also have Pete's Neil Diamond show.
Right, so that's King of Diamonds. That's every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right here in the showroom at 8 o'clock. And then starting October 20th, we're gonna have a Beatles tribute show also. Also,
Oh, is that
produced by
coming in
King
here?
Housley. Coming right here, baby.
What day? What day?
That's starting October 20th.
But is it going to be what day of the week?
It's gonna mirror Neil Diamond. So we're gonna have the Beatles at 7, Neil Diamond at 9.
Oh, nice.
Got it. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And
That's partially why our A-Star show is now going 7 o'clock A-Star show, and then we're doing a 9 o'clock spot.
People used to that night.
Which in this case is Larry
A lot of entertainment in this show.
There's
a show here
the showroom and the
show
hotel
on Sunday here.
and all over the hotel.
Sunday I have a show called Tony. Yeah, they're going to.
Yeah.
No, they're just packing it in.
Well, that's the way to do it. You want to
Yeah.
maximize your space. And Sunday we have Tony Moore.
Yeah, that's going to be a great show.
4 o'clock show.
Sunday afternoon, Sunday matinee, which, by the way, very popular here at the Ahern Hotel. A lot of people like to come and have sip their champagne or wine in the afternoon, listen to a show, and or tequila, as the case may be. Alien tequila.
Tony was the original keyboardist for Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, yeah.
Iron Maiden is playing here in Vegas at a big, like T-Mobile or one of those big places on Saturday, and then we've got Tony Moore in here on Sunday at 4 p.m. And if you like Genesis and Pink Floyd kind of music, it's going to be kind of like that. It's all original. It's a 1-hour show for you guys that can get away from football for an hour.
Yeah.
And come in and dig that. And,
Yeah, we're going to open the room at 3 o'clock, so if you want to come in and have a little pre-show party, shows at 4 o'clock. And then at 5 o'clock, we'll allow everyone into the Vita Bella wine bar.
And I don't know if you guys have had the pleasure of dining here yet, but I love the chef here. Chef Joel is amazing.
Yeah.
Joel's Chop House, great chef, and you've got bar food here as well. But it's what they call elevated.
Yes, it's gourmet bar food. So I mean, think about this: the Joel's Chop House is a 5-star steakhouse right here on the Broadway. Okay, and the food is fantastic, not cheap. Okay, in the showroom, Joel makes the bar bites, so it's gourmet bar food, We've got Oysters Rockefeller. Never seen in a comedy club before. Oysters Rockefeller. We have a Wagyu steak sandwich that everybody just goes crazy for. Homemade ravioli in the showroom. I mean, it's unbelievable. Chicken fingers, a lot of great food. The charcuterie board. You ever get a charcuterie board in a comedy club? No, but you do here at the Ahern Electric Boutique Hotel. So all the food comes out of the chop house. That's why we say we have a pre-show party. Come in, order some food, drink specials, hang out, enjoy yourself, have a little lunch, and then enjoy a great show.
And I'm all over the place. I mean, tonight we've got Latin night. We've got Havana Nights over at Silver Sevens. Yeah. Free dance party with Claudine Castro tonight, queen of Latin dance parties. And then tomorrow night
At Silver Sevens.
At Silver Sevens.
Yeah.
At Silver Sevens, we have Stephanie Calvert, who was the former lead singer for Starship for 15 years on Saturday night. And then next Sunday we've got Flo Rida, who I thought was Latin, but he's not. He's a hip hop guy. Over at the pool on Havana Nights.
I heard he's from Florida.
Yeah, I had to learn how to say his name, and I didn't know something about apple bell bottoms. I have no idea what that hippity hoppity stuff is all about. But and also, another friend of mine. If anybody's watching out in the New York area, my friend Al B. Shore is having a big fundraiser next week. Al had a liver transplant. He's all over the news right now. But if you're in the New York area, you want to support a great cause, you could Google Al B. Shore and see what that's all about. And hats off to my friend Al.
Yeah.
So, we got lots going on.
Is Al B. Shore having his event at the shore?
It's Al B. Shore.
Oh, sure.
Not out by the shore.
Okay.
No, it's right in Manhattan.
By the sea, by the beautiful sea.
Al's from Mount Vernon, New York, so he's a New York kind of guy. And he had a liver transplant earlier this year, so it's really about liver transplant.
Let's say a little prayer.
Yeah, God bless.
Yeah, Al's doing great. So shout out to our friend Al. Be sure I talked to him last week. So let's talk a little bit about our guests. Let's find out a little bit and correct me. I just pulled this off the internet, Larry. So if I say anything that's off,
So much information in there.
beginning in the 1980s, Larry Wilmore reported several.
Already too much.
All right,
Already the 80s,
several
yeah.
small film and television roles, including a recurring role as a police officer on The Facts of Life.
Woo!
Was that with Hootie or Tootie or?
Yeah,
it was Tootie.
It was Tootie and the Blowfish.
Tootie of the Blowfish.
Kim Fields played Tootie.
Yeah, I actually was on the same season as George Clooney, and I think we followed the same kind of career tracks. We started at Facts of Life,
That's right.
And there was Into the Night with Rick Dees.
That was my first TV writing job.
I went to Nassau, Bahamas with Rick.
Really?
Yeah, I went to Great Clip Cigar Place with Rick Dees. And keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
That's the case in case, but it's.
I know, but I like
Rick,
doing that
but Rick
voice.
inherited the mantle, which I believe now belongs to Ryan Seacrest. So, but I get to work on that End of the Night show. Also, we did a Halloween episode where we did a guillotine. Where we chopped,
Is that how you two met to know each other?
No, that was Thick of the Night. I'm sorry, that was Alan Thick's show. That was Thick of the Night. I just got the two confused. You're right. No, Ed Alonzo did the other one. Okay.
Sketch comedy with In Living Color.
Yep.
With Wayans family.
That was my first big break as a television writer, and it was great. It was amazing. I would say it was the worst of times. It was the worst of times as far as a writer. I mean, it was so tough as a writer, but it was so much fun at the same time. Hardest job I ever had, but the most fun.
Was it really?
Oh yeah.
I met Keenan Ivory Wayans on the first movie that he did. One of the first, I think it was the very first movie that he did. It was called Repo Man.
Oh, okay. Was he in? Was he in?
He produced it. He may have been in it. He may have been in
That
it.
was the '80s, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually did a sketch with on Keenan's show.
In Living Color?
No, Keenan Ivory.
Oh,
he had a
Oh, yeah.
That's a crazy sketch.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I remember my first time performing an actual set at the Improv. It was a 7:20 set, and at 7 o'clock was Damon Wayans.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, so he had the first set of the night, and it was, I don't know, half a dozen people in the room or whatever, and he was doing all these great characters, and I don't think he got a lot of laughs, but
Everyone's always out there. Keenan told this great story once. Speaking of the Beatles band,
yeah.
he was about to go out and perform, and the MC said, "Wait, I have to make an announcement." So John Lennon was just show.
Oh no.
And of course, I said, "Now you're comedian."
Yeah.
Imagine, oh my God.
I performed at the extreme skiing competition in Valdez, Alaska, and somebody died on a mountain that day. Before they introduced me, they said we're gonna have a moment of silence. And I said, should I mention that in the last days? They go, no, someone dies every year. Because then extreme skiing, I went up in the helicopter. They take you up in the helicopter, and then they literally put a guy on a ledge where there's no trails, never been skied before, and he goes skiing down the mountain. It's crazy.
Gary Lorenzo said that you talked old Hollywood a little bit. You know, I was friends with Marty Allen and Steve Rossi,
Sure.
and they used to tell us that they opened on the Ed Sullivan Show for the Beatles. Yeah. Can you imagine you're going on and the crowd just goes nuts because you're just like, get off, we hate you. You know,
Yeah. It was live TV back in those days.
Another tribute from that show, like a big deal thing, is also they have a production of Oliver Twist that, you know, they used to show excerpts from Broadway shows. And Davy Jones, who ended up being on the Monkees, was on the same show as the Beatles.
Wow. Was he the original Oliver?
Well, he was in the Broadway production.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool. Probably not the original, so he's sticking to
You're
it.
Right. But it wasn't on Broadway.
There was another great actor, Charlie Grill with St. Paul.
That's right.
Mitch just passed away, actually, and very good. And they had a whole thing that happened to go on that was right after the Beatles.
Right.
And it just went. This is an absolutely great
They were
comedy
not
team,
interested, yeah.
and no one cared.
And Marty Allen was brilliant. He came out and he had the crazy hair going.
Oh, yeah.
Hello there!
Oh, yeah.
And he said something about to the effect of, you know, that he did the Beatles hair or something.
That's so funny. I got to work with him a lot on cruise ships. We
Marty Allen.
brought up the Grand Princess together, and he was with his wife, Caron Kate Blackwell.
Yeah.
And they did a great double act, and it was just such a great place to watch him work. But then, of course, hanging out with him during the day and hearing all the funny stories and stuff.
Right.
So much fun. You know, I would have breakfast with him on Saturday mornings at the Bagel Deli, you know, with Sheldon Edelson, and, you know, all these guys would sit in the back room. And Marty would bring me like mimeograph jokes. He was, here, I got this for you. This is like
Mimeograph. Good
for
one.
you kids at home. Look up mimeograph. You get the ink on your fingers. I saved them. I still have it. Anyway.
There was an old, excuse me,
No, go ahead.
There was an old comedy writer, Snag Waris, who, do you remember, you were at Snag, who, Snag.
Snag
He was
Waris.
one of the old Jackie Gleason writers, and I met him when I was like 18 years old at a magic meeting, and we got to talking, he liked me, and he says, I got a routine I want you to do that I did on the Gleason show, A Magic Trick. And he brings me this mimeographed script.
Wow.
Legitimately mimeographed, and says, "Come on over, and I'll show you the kinescope."
For you kids at home.
Yeah, kinescope.
Yeah, it came right after the cave paintings.
That was before Betamax.
That's great. That's great. The kinescope. Wow.
We've talked about the Gleason show. We talked about our friend Brad Garrett and the amazing job that he did portraying the great one.
Yeah.
And I think Brad got the Emmy Award for that. It was just an
Yeah, he
amazing
did an amazing
portrayal.
job.
Oh, wow. So back to Larry Wilmore's
Shout out to
career.
Brad Garrett. He's got a comedy club here in town. Of course, not as amazing as the A-Stars comedy show that we do tonight and tomorrow night, Friday night, Saturday night. We do every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night at 7 o'clock. We just started doing our 7 o'clock show. Room opens at 6. And then tonight and tomorrow night, we have a double feature, double header with the great Larry Wilmore at 9 o'clock. So
Now, I haven't seen you guys. Do you guys do crowd work?
I don't know. Well, that's like a term now, crowd work. I mean,
Well, Brad is great at it.
as a comedian, we've always done that.
Yeah.
But now they're making a big deal out of it because people share it on social media.
Well, the
But,
shaming thing.
yeah, when you not do crowd work, I mean, I don't even understand why it's such a big deal. But it's not my act. Jimmy Brogan was like famous for that was his entire act. I can't remember one Jimmy Brogan
the license
joke.
plate on his car said no act.
Yeah,
Because he just talked to the audience.
Where are you from?
What's your name? What's your name? Where you're from? What's your name? Where you're from? What's your name? Where you're from?
Yeah.
But unless you're good at it, you know, I've seen people that are
He's
bad at
spectacular.
it.
He's spectacular.
Yeah.
When's he coming down?
Jimmy Brogan, I don't know. We'll see.
Because Lorenzo's got people like for the last 40 years that you
Yeah.
worked with that are
Those
just
guys
great.
are still good, man.
I love that you're introducing me to these
Yeah.
guys. I've never met these guys. Fresh Prince of Bel Air, writer producer. On that, I mean, you know, whatever happened to the other guy? Okay. The Fresh Prince when it was
Whatever happened to Will Smith is what you're saying?
It was Prince. It was
kind of had a career.
Yeah.
you slap one guy.
Yeah. I saw it even back then. I saw the slap back in the 1990s. One day this man's going to
I
slap
saw him
me.
lose his temper, but only after his wife signaled him.
1999, Larry Wilmore co-created the animated comedy The PJs with Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
And I talk about
How you doing?
Joe Piscopo, which is really the reason I wound up in Las Vegas, was Joe Piscopo was doing a Frank Sinatra show like he did on SNL.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm from Chicago.
Ebony and ivory, you are blind as a bat, and I can see. Something like that.
I don't know what you're doing.
Piscopo, Joe Piscopo doing Sinatra with Eddie Murphy playing. Isn't she lovely? Yeah.
But at the time, they were both with William Morris, and if you wanted to book Eddie Murphy, you had to take Joe Piscopo. And if you wanted to book Piscopo, you had to take Eddie.
Oh, you had to take it.
You had to take both of them.
Yeah.
If you wanted
Got to take Eddie? Oh.
I don't want to take Eddie. I just want that Piscopo guy.
Yeah.
But, you know, Joe's
Showbiz,
great.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bernie Mac show, Lorenzo said that you
I created that show.
created the Bernie Mac show.
Yeah.
Sure did, yeah. Yep.
What happened in his career?
Well, unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's too soon.
Yeah, God bless him. I mean, he did such a great job in the Ocean's 11 movies.
Oh, he was excellent.
And
So
and just so great on the show that you and he. So you're the creator of the show. He was the star of the show. Maybe
Correct.
tell us a little bit about how that happened.
Well, there was a couple of things. I saw this show on PBS called 1900 House, where people had to live like it was 1900.
Uh-huh.
And they had cameras all set up in the house, and I thought it was hilarious. They had like a professional camera. I ate a Snickers bar today. What was supposed to do? You know, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. This convention where we're kind of eavesdropping on family, and they get to confess like the sins. I thought that might be an interesting way to set up a show. And then I saw Bernie's act in Kings of Comedy, where he was talking about taking care of his sister's kids.
Uh-huh.
I go, that would be an interesting story to put in there, where we're eavesdropping on this guy doing this. So I thought of form kind of first, and I pitched it to Bernie. He thought it was great. You know, we pitched it around to the network, and they ended up buying it.
Boom.
And then I had to write the damn thing. I always said.
There you go.
Grand slam, and then you got a job.
I'm here with Larry Wilmore and Terry
I
Lux.
create my own jobs. It's the only way that I work in the business.
That's
And
right.
then you work with Whoopi Goldberg as a consulting producer. Well, actually, you produced the show Whoopi.
Sure,
And
yeah.
when I met Whoopi, she was Karen Johnson.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she was doing
I like
a
that
one-woman Mom's Mabley show
Oh, okay.
and wouldn't fly. She always had to. She wouldn't get on an airplane.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think she's still kind
I
of.
think she's still like that.
Yeah, I think she did go to Europe with The View or whatever for
Yeah.
a European
Right. Yeah.
episode or whatever because they made a big deal about it. But normally she's got a tour bus and
Yeah.
she travels.
Yeah, in a bus or a train or that kind
I was
of thing. John
introduced
Madden was like that. Football.
Oh yeah, John Madden
Yeah.
wouldn't fly either. A lot of people.
No, they're not kidding around.
Well, it's the old joke. It's like, why are you happy to go in to drive in a car and not fly in an airplane? Because I've met people who survived car crashes.
Well, I just got back. You know, my daughter's a stand-up and she does clown work in L.A.
Yeah, Jen
and I've been
Scott.
flying
She's great.
back-
Shout out to Jen Scott.
Jen Scott, and she had a great show at the
Yeah, she
Elysian
was on this stage here.
last week, and I was there this weekend watching Stand Up and Clown.
Okay.
That's the name of their show at the Elysian Theater in North Hollywood. And I forgot where I was going with it, but
Just
Whoopi
got it.
Gold-
Yeah.
I forgot where I was going with it.
Will your daughter not fly? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, she won't. She doesn't like it. It's very traumatic.
See,
But it takes me like 40 minutes. It takes me less time to go to Burbank and fly to
Right.
Burbank than it does to drive to Summerlin.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's easy. When you get off the plane in Burbank, I don't know if you guys, I feel like I'm stepping back into 1955.
Yeah,
Favorite
right.
airport.
Yeah.
It's great,
I
isn't it?
love going out.
You get out, you're on the tarmac, you walk outside, you're there.
Yeah.
I love Burbank too.
Oh yeah.
So much fun. So talk a little bit about Whoopi Goldberg if you could.
Whoopi was great. You know, she's so talented. We did a show where she was, I think it was supposed to be a Faulty Tower type of thing. I didn't actually create the show, but I was running it. And I remember she wanted to really be political in it too. And that was right after 9/11, some of that stuff. And maybe a couple of years. And we really had a good time. I think we just did one season. But seeing her in that environment, getting a chance to work with somebody like that was really cool, doing it up close like that.
Yeah.
And later on, I knew her when she was doing the Mom's Mabley, and she
Yeah.
did produce the Mom's Mabley. And again, you kids at home, or even you adults,
Yeah.
Google Mom's
Google
Mabley.
Mom's Mabley.
So
Yeah.
funny.
Because Mom's Mabley was just hilarious.
Well, her original one-woman show on Broadway.
Right.
I had the album, and of course, it's not the HBO special. And it was just so great. Each one of her characters, each one of the stories, each one of the bits was just so genius. And
a couple where she transitioned from one character to
Yeah.
another during the scene.
yeah, so good.
Yeah, Mike Nichols directed it.
Yeah, yeah. Nichols
Again,
and
for you
Mayfair.
kids up there.
Mike's throwing out names.
You guys are going to be Googling and Googling some more.
Elaine May and Mike Nichols were a
Yeah.
comedy team, great comedy team.
Yeah.
I think it was from the original Compass Players.
Yeah,
which
and
was
of course Mike
in the
Nichols
city.
became a great film director.
And Broadway director.
Yeah, yes, yeah, Working Girl.
Who's the greatest Virginia Woolf? Not a question. It's a show.
Hey, some of the stuff that you've done is just amazing to me. The Daily Show.
I was senior black correspondent with the Daily Show.
Now,
I people senior.
Right, I love the fact that you made the distinction on the senior, because yesterday I said the official black correspondent for the Daily Show. You made a purposeful statement.
It's a running joke that I have.
I love it. I said, no, I'm the senior
Right.
black correspondent for the Daily Show.
In fact, the first time that I did it, John introduced me as black correspondent for the Daily Show, and I just sat there silent. He goes, "What are you?" And then, "Oh, I'm sorry, the senior black correspondent." I go, "Hey, John." I just wouldn't
Not
say
just
it.
any black correspondent, the senior black correspondent.
Yeah. Those were fun days.
How many years were you
Fun.
doing the Daily Show?
You know, Daily Show was something I did it kind of in my spare time. I wasn't on the show full time, so I lived in LA at the time, but I would fly out to do those segments. Like something, there'd be some black news that would. And so Larry,
Now for the black news.
Right, exactly. Larry, can you get out here? You know? And I'd fly out, and you know, we come up with a bit and that type of thing to it. So it was so much fun. But I did it from like 2006 to 2014, and then I did my own show called The Nightly Show that John produced. And I was the host of it with that for so that was fun. That was a good run. It was a fun run.
Yeah, anytime. That you know anything more than a year.
Oh man,
Yeah.
let me tell you, television. Oh, you are lucky to be on at all, first of all, but to have any kind of length is amazing. So I was very grateful to even get the year and a half. By the way, people still come up to me about that show and say how much they love it, even though we were on that much.
Yeah.
All the time, I get people who love the show and it meant a lot to them. So I try to live in gratitude. I don't try, but I really live in gratitude.
absolutely.
You know, for all those things. So.
Well, you've had an amazing career. Minister and Love You Man, a supporting role in Jennifer Schmucks, which it keeps popping up. I see it on Tubi.
Yes, I know. Now, so another part of my career is acting, and so the writing, producing's been one track, but the acting's been on a whole different thing. So during the years, sometimes I'll probably go to a movie or a TV show, that type of thing. People like I have fans who know me from The Office when I was in the Diversity Day episode, and that's all they've seen me in, and they think that's all I've done too. You know?
Yeah, right.
Mr. Brown.
That's what I talk about.
Mr. Brown right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost
That's
every
how TV
podcast.
works, though. TV is amazing.
Yeah.
We talk about how stand-up comedians can act,
Yeah.
but actors can't do stand-up
Well,
comedy,
the stand-up is the hardest thing in the world. That's all.
right?
Yeah.
Well, what was the famous line? Dying is easy
Yeah.
comedy. Who actually said it? That's been quoted about.
Was it W.C. Fields or?
No, someone said it was Keats.
yes,
Someone said it was Keats. Someone said it was someone much older.
Yes.
It was
David Niven.
If it was
David Niven.
Keats, it's probably Shelley or Keats. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
They were always competing.
Yes.
But yeah, so the acting. I always wanted to be an actor as a kid, so it's fun to have those pockets of things that I've done. I did a movie a couple years ago called Jerry Marsh Lara, and that thing and Bryan Cranston. It was so amazing. I was like the third lead in it.
Wow.
What's the name of the movie?
Jerry Marsh Lara. It was the story of the guy who won the lottery share of his town. It was very kind of, It was so much fun, just doing it. And I ended up going out to dinner with Lieutenant Benny Henry.
Oh yeah.
I think I remember that is.
WB.
Yeah. And we had so much fun. It was so great. Now there's a guy that's got some stories about
Oh.
Hollywood.
Oh, bad.
Just to pick at the brain and it was so much fun. So I'm very fortunate to have done all these things.
He made that movie, The Rules Don't Apply.
Yeah.
And I remember, so I was fortunate to be at the screening on the lot.
Right.
And so it was just far away from him. But he was talking about this movie project and how Annette said, oh, you're never going to make that movie. They were working on it 8 years or 10 years or whatever. And Ward said, no, I'm going to make the movie. And, this, whatever. And it was just such a real guy.
Oh yeah.
And she was obviously the wife going, no, I said you never. I can't believe you did it. You know, like,
It's very thoughtful too.
yeah.
My
It was
favorite.
really cool to see him like that.
One of my favorites is the Parallax View.
Which movie?
What's it called?
It's called the Parallax View. It's directed by
Parallax View.
Alan J. Capullo. He did before around the time of All the President's Men.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this real movie about conspiracies and all that stuff, and it's so good. And it disappeared for a while, and me, I'm thinking, there's a conspiracy. There's a conspiracy around. And then it came back like in the 90s on video, and I immediately like bought a copy of it. It's been one of my favorite movies for years and ever. So I got to ask him about it. So
Well, you guys probably all worked with Richard Belzer at one point or another, and he wrote a great conspiracy book called Elvis, JFK, and something else.
Ah.
But it was mostly about JFK, and it was interesting.
Elvis, JFK, and Shananay.
No, I don't think that was it.
Well, no, he was the singer for Shananay.
Shananay.
Oh no, that was John Belzer Bowman, not Richard Belzer. Sorry,
Not the
I just
Belzer.
got them confused too.
Hello, you're on here.
I was thinking Belzer? Was it?
No, Bowser. No.
Which brings us to the White House Correspondents Association dinner. You came under fire for using the word nigga to refer to President Obama, saying, Barry,
Taking your life in your own hands.
In a fun and complimentary way.
Yeah, people said, Larry, I can't believe you called the president the N-word. I said, I didn't call him the N-word, I called him my N-word. I used the possessive.
Yeah.
You have to conjugate the slur to understand what that is.
Yeah, right.
But he understood what I was talking about, you know. And it was great. It was a fun moment. You know. Very controversial.
Yes.
I'm sure it was.
Controversial,
You
yeah.
defended her actually by telling Reverend Al
defended my-
Sharpton you wanted to make a statement more than a joke, wanted to explain the historical implications of the
Sure.
Obama presidency from your point of view.
Sure, of course.
Coming, from as a Chicago guy, and a Democrat, I always talk about, people ask me what my politics are. I said,
Right.
I grew up in Chicago. I was learned you pull the lever. That's it. You don't ask any questions.
Right, exactly.
The alderman would come to the house and say, how many Democratic voters do you have? My father would say, 4, and I've got 4 parking tickets. You go pull the lever and straight Democrat, and that was it.
That's amazing.
Sure.
That was how we learned how to vote. So to have a junior senator from Illinois
Yeah.
become the president,
Yeah.
how did that happen? Gee, I wonder.
Pretty big deal. I mean, Illinois went for Kennedy in 1960. And
Yeah.
people wonder what happened.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, there's all kinds of theories and movies about that one.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty. And we have the freedom in this country to talk about it.
Were you hosting? Were you a guest on the White House Correspondents' Dinner?
No, you were the host, right? Of the White House
hosted.
Correspondents' Dinner.
You were hosted.
Yeah.
Yes,
That was huge.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The comedian is called the host of it, you know. So
Because they actually host it.
Right. That's just the title that they give. And I sat next to the First Lady and got to talk to her. That was the most memorable thing because when you're up on stage, it's really kind of a blur.
Right.
It's a very surreal experience.
Yeah.
That type of thing. And but the beforehand, and you're all nervous and everything. She was so great just to sit and talk to her. Now she's actually from Chicago, from that area.
Right.
Barry's from Hawaii,
Yeah.
He
He's
kinda-
Barry from
yeah,
Hawaii,
He
dude.
kind of transplanted himself there. But
He's got the aloha spirit,
I know,
y'all.
sure. Who knows? That's what I expect. But she was amazing. She was so
They both
great.
seem very real.
Yeah, but he has the bit of a shield where maybe because he's president or that type
Yeah,
of thing.
politician, master politician.
Yeah, where she didn't have that at all.
The
It was
guard was
just
down once, like, fuck
completely.
anything.
Completely. And I only notice it because I'm in showbiz and I know when a shield is up.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that type of thing. We can see that type of thing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so there you go. That was the night.
Now, were your parents alive? Are your parents alive?
They were there. They went.
That had to be cool.
Yeah, I think they enjoy it. My parents, they're more on the right side now.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Pomona, California.
So they had the Pomona
But they're
Fair.
my parents are from Chicago.
Oh,
Okay. Well, there
so
you go.
They grew up in Evanston, Illinois.
I worked in Evanston.
Yeah.
First National Bank of Evanston.
There you go. So we're all homies here. you know.
That's right.
We're getting to know each other here on Vegas Nonstop.
Exactly. They had a great time.
Yeah,
It was
sponsored
great.
by Alien Tequila.
That's pretty cool. That's that your parents.
It's out of this world.
Yeah, it was great.
It's a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Kerry, what have you done?
About
about what?
What have you done for
Where's
me
the best
lately?
magic?
I'm sorry, I have a shield up there.
Carrie's lifelong dream is to be the wacky next door neighbor on a sitcom.
That's actually true.
So the next time you write one, he's the
I know
wacky next
that
door neighbor.
you've done a lot of shows, including Heart to Heart. And we play a game here on Vegas Nonstop called Truth or Brown Sugar.
Truth or brown sugar.
And we
truth
made a
or
little
yes,
preparation
truth or
of,
bullshit, yeah.
of questions that may be true or maybe not, or maybe multiple choice about that show. But talk about some of the shows that you were on.
I think you're in Chips. You're in Chips.
You're the episode of Chips a long time ago.
Eric is a great guy.
Eric is a nice guy. Larry Wilcox, absolutely fantastic. I still am in touch with Robert Pine after all these years.
Which one's Robert Pine?
Robert
The
Pine,
commander?
he played Sergeant Contreras. His son, Chris Pine, is now a
Huge.
star.
Huge, yeah.
But Eric, you can't walk 10 feet without somebody recognizing Eric and
Oh my
having a
God.
picture with Eric.
No.
And he looks great.
Yeah, it still looks fantastic.
Very
See,
good.
Don Rowan and stuff.
Pretty good occasion with him.
I did a lot of years both in front of the camera and behind the camera, being that I'm both an actor and a magician at me. And I did 12 years on a show called Circus of the Stars.
Oh yeah. With a lot of people on
So
that
I
show.
trained a lot of, as a matter of fact, Whoopi on that. But trained a lot of stars for different escapes
Wow.
and magic stunts and comedy routines and so forth for the years.
What other stars did you work with?
Oh my gosh.
Michelle Lee, Tony Curtis,
Michelle Lee, Ronnie McDowell, Tony Curtis I did an HBO special.
What was that? What was that?
Will's Greatest Escapes.
Because he loved Houdini, and he played
He
Houdini.
played me.
played
And then he
Houdini,
actually,
yeah.
up at the Magic Castle in Hollywood one night, he came up on stage and wound up tying me up in the straight jacket. So we had Mr. Houdini up tying up the comedy guy in the straight jacket.
Yeah, Carrie's the first guy to do the comedies straight jacket escape. Before that time, it was always played
As a serious
as a
thing.
serious
Tony
drama thing.
lived here.
And Carrie
Yeah.
invented the comedy straight jacket.
And as a matter of fact, Tony and his wife at the time, Jill, who had their horse ranch property out in Anderson.
They're on the Rio Seca golf course, and invited me over, and Tony answered the door with no wig and his boxer shorts. And,
It was Bernie Schwartz.
It was. I asked him about
That's his
that.
real
as
name,
well.
When Tony came up on stage, I'd already worked with him. And so he was at the Magic Castle celebrating his birthday. This is before he married Jill. And a couple ladies on his arm, of course. And we actually got permission to announce he was there. It was his birthday. We all said happy birthday to him. I'm going to see the show. And then when it came time for him to come up on stage, now, I should explain, I'm doing this comedy straitjacket routine, and this is the very first week that I added, as I was losing this, I added a rug, which in the middle of my
A
straitjacket.
toupee.
No, it was an actual full
An actual rug.
An actual
And
full
so now
People don't know that Lorenzo's wearing one right now.
Oh yeah.
So,
This hat is a rug.
so anyways, I'm wearing this thing, and it hadn't really shaped it down. It looked more like a fuzzy football helmet. So now Tony comes up on stage, and is tying me volunteers.
Hello, Carrie.
He's tying me up, and he's one of two guys up on stage, and I can feel him staring at the back of this thing, and I'm so tempted to turn and say, "You mention mine, and I'll mention yours." Didn't go. Great guy.
He was such a great guy, and he called my office. I had a secretary who was Lithuanian, and she thought it was his. Hello, Jonathan. This is Tony Curtis calling. Jill and I would like to meet you at Spago for a cognac and a cigar. She said, "One of your idiot friends is on the phone saying it's Tony Curtis." I got to go to his house here, and we were going to do it. I wound up doing it, but Tony got sick. We did Some Like It Hot on the big screen. I was with the Hilton, Las Vegas Hilton, in Elvis's showroom, 1,580 seats, and it was just amazing. And we were going to have his artwork,
Right.
you know, in the lobby and stuff. But Tony got sick and he couldn't make it. But he said it was, you know, we still ran the movie, and people just loved seeing it on the big screen with big stereo sounds and everything. And you know, he gave me a copy of his book, and he said that, you know, I think he said it was Bugsy Siegel that actually gave him the name Tony Curtis.
Really?
Because I asked him about Bernard Schwartz.
Yeah.
You know, I also asked him, you know, the famous line, "Yanda is my father's castle." Yanda is the castle of my father. And he said it was Ben Siegel that said you gotta change your name.
Oh,
We did
wow.
Tony Curtis.
There you go.
You were talking about his artwork. He did an art show at the Magic Castle. He also did talk about Houdini, the Spring Houdini, and then he gave a chat about it. He also did this book about Something Like You're Hot. I've got both books.
Yeah.
And he did an art show there where he not only had some of the art that you've probably seen, he also had a lot of magic art that he did.
Interesting.
And I wish I had lost. He had some fantastic work.
He was very open. He would tell you anything. He told me that he was seeing Marilyn during the making of the movie, and he got her pregnant.
Wow, there's a scoop for you.
And that's how she wound up divorcing Arthur Miller, because Tony got her pregnant.
No way.
Wow.
Now that was not in the book. What was in the book is the fact.
Breaking news, folks. Breaking news.
He's dead, or they're both dead.
What was in the book was the fact he said her breath always smelled like garlic. It was very nuts.
That didn't stop him, evidently.
Wow.
So
Hey, that's something.
Seeing the movie Houdini with me.
it was great. In the palace, he did it was great.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid.
The Houdini movie?
Oh, love
Yeah, it was great,
So,
wasn't it?
something mystical about it. I don't think no other Houdini movie quite had the magic of that movie. It had a magic.
Certainly not the Paul Michael Glazer.
Well,
dark.
that was dark. They tried turning Houdini into a mama's boy and make it a psychological kind of aspect to it rather than just entertainment.
Right.
And
And Houdini was a charismatic star. That's what Tony.
Yeah.
yeah.
We just had Chris
Added
Angel last
lights.
week. And Chris Angel does the upside, well, he does the straight jacket escape.
Yeah, hanging over the audience. We just saw it.
Oh, you just went to
Yeah,
it on
we saw it.
Sunday, right?
Fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah. Really well done. Really well done. Yes.
And they
Shout out
blow
to
that
Chris Angel.
stuff in
Great
your
show.
face while
Oh,
he's
yeah.
doing it. They got
Oh,
wind
yeah.
going on and all kinds of
Oh yeah,
stuff.
there's a whirlwind of
Oh.
confetti. You ever do that?
Believe it or not, yeah, as a matter of fact, in the early days, I did some of that, but
Yeah, he's got
some
the water escape.
water escape.
Yeah.
And I did the straight jacket for 40 years, and I finally got to the point. I said, when you realize your chiropractor is making more money for that than you're making, it's time to make big issues. So now my biggest dream is that the worst injury I did is a paper cut from a dental cards.
There you go. That's right.
Easily done.
Is that like magic insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
Was it Greg Otto that said that the worst kind of peg you can get is a paper cut? He said, I don't know, maybe an axe cut might be better.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think it
Yeah,
actually.
Rob a bank with a sheet of paper, a loose leaf paper. Because if you get by me, the guy behind me's got a binder.
Again, Larry Wilmore, Kerry Ross, this weekend, Friday and Saturday here at Ahern.
And Rocco too. So 7 o'clock, it's Terry Ross with Rocco, which is a great magic show for October. For
I do the
National
serious
Magic
stuff,
Month.
and then he
And
comes
then-
out and does the serious stuff.
Yes, exactly. Right. So you got comedy and magic both, and then at 9 o'clock it's me and Larry doing the second version of the A-Stars comedy show, and Larry does comedy and mind reading, which is really amazing and great fun stuff. And boy, both shows, people love both shows. So come out tonight and tomorrow night here at the Ahern Hotel on Sarah, across from the Sarah Hotel.
And tickets are available, I believe, at Eventbrite.
Well, Eventbrite is the easiest place to find them, but if you want to do us a favor, go to Vegas.com, and because then you can leave us a 5-star review on Vegas.com because we need more reviews on Vegas.
More reviews. And you can also walk up. Tickets are available.
Yeah, walk into the front door.
Come on
To the
over.
box office.
Come on over to the restaurant.
Lovely Effie will be happy to see you at the box office desk.
And now it's time to play the game, Sweeping the Stage.
Truth or brown sugar.
Truth or brown sugar. We're going to do heart to heart because
Yeah.
Lorenzo said you were in the show.
Heart to heart.
And,
You heard an episode of Heart to Heart?
Actually, I didn't do hard.
Oh, I thought you did. Because I knew there was a magic episode of Heart to Heart.
I didn't get to do
Is it Blackstone?
Oh, that's what I prepared.
That's
That's the one we're doing. And it's multiple
But
guests
who?
anyway. So.
Well, boy, does that matter? This is truth or BS.
It's truth or
I was ready to
BS.
go, yeah, of course I was on Heart to Heart.
First question, and there's no right or wrong, it's just a multiple choice. Where did the Hearts go when they had to retrieve the little sculpted dog from the Ming Dynasty? Tokyo, Shanghai, Beijing, or Macau? Period. Remember the show, right?
It's been a while since
What
I've
was
seen
it?
it.
What was the name
Where
of it?
did the
What's
Hearts
name
go?
of the dog? Freeway?
You're jumping ahead. Tokyo, Shanghai, Beijing, or Macau?
I'm going to say Macau.
I'm gonna say Tokyo.
Beijing?
It was Macau!
Ah,
gonna guess
there you
There's one
go.
in a
The
row.
12 sculpted animals were eventually donated to a museum.
Huh.
Next question, well, and What was the name of the little robot that Hart Toy was making? Becky, Stevie, Robbie, or Mike?
Huh. Let's go with Mike.
I'm gonna go with Robbie.
I'm going to say Becky.
It was Robbie. The robot, the robot actually helped the Harts escape because Mr. Hart used him to set off the alarm in the building.
I think that was the predecessor to Kit the car from Knight Rider.
Was it the Jetsons? Was it Robbie the robot? The Jetsons.
Rosie.
Oh, it was Rosie.
Yeah.
Robbie wrote up in Forbidden Fire,
Yes.
which I actually worked on when I was at a special effects house going through college. I got to work on the rebuild of Robbie.
Wow.
Where did you grow up?
Huh?
Where did you grow up?
LA? Hollywood.
Brady Center.
Yeah, he's asking stories, guys.
In what country did the Harts meet? UK, France, US, or China?
Well, I'm going to go to the UK, though.
UK.
Yeah, it's Coast of Holland.
I'll say France.
It was the UK.
I got
Jennifer
one.
was a reporter.
All right.
Figures.
What kind of animal did the Harts have throughout the series? Cat, dog, fish, or horse?
Dog.
Is it a ant?
That was a dog. His name was Freeway.
It was Freeway. That's right.
Because they found him. They found him on the side of the freeway.
See,
That's
I
what
knew
it-
that.
According to the episode with the sculpted dog, what is Jennifer fond of? Asia, Mexico, France, or sculptures?
I know Jane Fonda. Was Jennifer Fonda?
Jennifer Hart.
Oh, Jennifer. Oh, what's Jennifer Fonda?
Say it one more time.
Jennifer, according to the episode with the sculpted dog, what is Jennifer fond of? Asia, Mexico, France, or sculpture?
Sculpture.
Say Asian.
With Asia.
The sculpture.
Yeah.
So he bought a sculpted dog for almost $1 million.
Those hearts.
Those heart to heart people. I like Matt.
Oh yeah.
Where did Mr. Hart get his money? Running drugs? He made it himself? He won the lottery, or his father?
He made it the old-fashioned way. He inherited it.
I say Japanese.
Did it himself.
Oh, he made it. He's a self-made man, that Jonathan Hart.
What was Jennifer Hart modeling for a commercial when she had to ride around on a horse? Cowboy hat, saddle, shoes, or jeans?
Jeans.
What was she modeling for?
What was she modeling?
Jeans.
I'd say jeans too.
It was jeans.
Yeah.
They're
Remember that.
popular,
We stuck to Stephanie Powers back in the
Yeah.
Jordache days.
nothing gets between me and my Calvins.
Yeah, I remember that one
About that
too.
same time, I think
Yeah.
how popular
Jeans were new and improved.
The Harts briefly took care of a girl who had just come out of a coma. What event did she start remembering? A bad car accident, her parents' murder, the JFK assassination?
Parents murdered.
Parents murder.
I'll be the third agreeing.
The murder. The murderer decided she was a liability and tried to kill the girl. For those who answered a car accident, that's how everyone else thought they died. A bad fire in which she was scarred for life. Where do the majority of the episodes take place? Los Angeles, somewhere in California, New York, or Chicago?
I think they're in L.A.
Gary? It was LA. It was LA. Last question.
They were always in Marina Del Rey for something.
Were the Harts
It's easy
ever
to shoot there.
held at gunpoint in their home?
Oh, yes.
A yes or a no?
Yes, I think so. I think it was Jack Cassidy was the villain.
Oh, good one.
Maybe. I don't have the answer to who it was. Yeah, it was yes. That's when they found a secret room behind the bar.
It feels like it probably would have been Jack Cassidy.
Unfortunately, you weren't in the show, so we have no heart to heart.
But the Magic Castle is a secret room behind the bar, and we spent a lot of time there with all the members of the cast.
Larry and Gary are appearing here at the Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel. Forwards and
on
one
Sahara, just west of the strip. 300 West Sahara.
Great
Free
show.
parking. Free parking, come on.
And it is a great, fun showroom too. It really, really is.
Yes.
I've been here before and having a blast.
Any other closing anything? Larry, anything you want to add?
Coming down. It's so nice to see everybody. The shows are so much fun, guys. Parents are fun. Come on down.
Really are. Just the audiences are good. The shows are great. He's been bringing incredible talent.
Yeah.
The
Next,
man right
next
here.
week, Jackie the Joke Man Martling.
Oh, we forgot to mention
That's
that.
right. Next week,
Jackie.
Jackie the Joke Man Martling. Of course, Tony Moore on Sunday, the 6th, and then with Jackie the Joke Man Martling, our friend Joe Monti, who was just on Penn and Teller, fooled us.
Yep.
Yeah, fooled some people.
Joe was great.
Penn and Teller, he fooled them.
But also, Lorenzo does an amazing job for you guys.
Yes, it does.
If you've never seen Lorenzo Clark do his memory stuff with TV shows or movies, that's what gets me the most because I barely remember what day it is. And he knows that you can do a whole story.
What day is it? It's today.
It's
everybody.
Friday.
We'd like to-
It's
And
Friday.
I got to tell you something. I have known this guy. He actually was one of my first magic students when he was 15 years old.
That's true.
Wow.
That is
So
true.
I've known him for a long, long time. And
Terry was a member of the junior program at the Magic Castle
I
also.
was one of the original kids, and then he came in afterwards, helped coach him getting into that program. I was off doing cruise ships and TV work, and then he started building his own show and doing cruise ships like crazy. And
I've never been to the Magic Castle, but you know, going back and forth.
We got to do
Well, you
that.
got three members right here.
My daughter. Yeah, I'd love to go.
All three of us are members, so yeah.
Yeah.
So anytime
It
you
would
want to
be a lot of
go.
fun.
Anytime
One
any of you want to
more.
realize,
If
and
you
if
guys-
you want to visit the Magic
Yes.
Drop
Castle,
us a note.
tough. It's a private club.
It's a private
You
club.
can't get in. You gotta know somebody.
If you want to send us
Come
an
to the
email,
East Comedy Show. We'll set you up with basketball to the Magic Castle.
news1lasvegas@gmail.com. news1lasvegas@gmail.com. I want to thank our guests. Thank you guys so much. And as always, Jonathan Scott reminding you, eat well and party hard, my friends.
Party
Thank you for
hardy,
tuning in.
everybody. It's Vegas. Woo! Non-stop with Jonathan Scott. Cheers, everybody.